Cornholio. I'm just gonna keep my practice as short as yesterday. Oh no, B11. The speed is good, the timing is not. It's good enough overall. Let's dive right in. Be right back. Is warm and a little bit humid today. Might need the towel. Here. I did! What else do you want? Hello, Jonas. It is a nice song. I might be a little bit distracted today. I'm watching the Snooker World Championship final on the side. We'll see how that goes. Might not go for that much longer. Still not over yet. They are. Hello, Grimlock. Thank you. Alright, start recording. I'll wait a little bit. I think I fixed the little oversights that I had in Diobot, but I also didn't test it, so I might have broken him. We'll see about that. Wait, game sound. And scene. I was waiting for the song to end. It never ended. Song never ends. You should have sung along, you know the lyrics. Now I fixed the audio. Democracy is back. Hello. Thank you for the good luck. Yo, 3 out of 3. On fire. Don't think that was one. Was definitely not one. Yay. 45 acquired. Six or seven. one of the smaller mistakes that I'm not willing to tolerate. Ah, single frame late every time. I think I'm keeping equally punishing mistakes, though. It's just that very one I do not like. Like the other day I was like keeping runs alive where I missed, where I fell down in tree left at the last Kaizo block. It's about 0.8, 0.9. Ah. Small struggle. That was the look over to the snooker match tags. The isomorph. I want to point out again how warm and humid it is today. It's a little bit icky. I have all of my windows open though, so as it starts cooling down outside, it should get better. They will come in. The temperature tags. That said, it was a little bit rainy today, so not a lot of flyers should be out and about. I think they took an off day. Oh. One. What do I win? Don't leave the robbery. Yeah. Stay in the robbery, everybody. The robbery is safe. Yo, 5. That is concerning. A little bit, it's normal. I didn't warm up. So this is my warm-up. What are we at dearbotting? I knew that was too early. Still did it. And I had such a nice amount of corner boosts. Excuse me? What? I can understand a late jump from the jelly, but no jump at all like that. Strange. Yikes. What is going on today? Ugh. It's all good. It started kind of cursed yesterday as well. And yesterday it turned into a really good stream. Our session, don't know how well the stream was received, but in terms of speedruns, the session was quite okay. Oh. Timing is all over the place. What am I doing? Everything about that was wrong. Went too far left and then jumped without any semblance of running speed. Cannot get jelly jumps today. Impossible. It's too warm already. Maybe that's the problem. The pipe approach has been going really well. That's a plus. Hey Ayaka, thank you. Was decent. Good delay at the branch jump. That felt like just the right amount of delay. Jumped wrong. Lucky. Okay, I guess that is a deserved first tree zone. Second behind in. Easy, just get Albatross. Probably gonna have to refill water quite a bit when it's this warm. Oh, it's a frame too early. I knew that was coming. Find a different place for my towel. It's in the way for my controller switch. Do 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 do. It's the doo doo song. Fingers feel a little bit weird. Don't know how to describe it. Let me out. I want to reset. That was way too early. Meh. Approach already felt wrong. That must have been like 85. Feels weird with the round approach. Nope. What would I be refilling? Oh, the water, no. I said I will need a lot of refills today. But it's not empty yet. Thanks for looking out for me, though. Duration is important. Hey! It did it. Sadly, no corner boosts, except for the last 3. This German never drinks beer. Way too early. Really surprised I didn't lose time with how early I landed. Decent. I feel properly locked in. Warm-up is over. Well. I should really employ the Alecki strat there. It's a game changer. I have more stamina than the game. I will prevail. Ah. Missed the easiest corner boost in the game. Hello, Cause. Thank you. Ah! Root face. The tree has been setting. So far. Much better timing. A little slower than the last one. Never mind, actually not. Same speed. Okay. Actually don't know if that loses any measurable amount of time. Good way to check. And then forget. It does. Yeah. Quite a bit. should be good. First good attempt. Hello, Sergio. It is. Whoop whoop. Let's hope the fingers are good. What a question! I love it. First person hitting on me on stream. Might not be the first. First in a while. I'm currently married to this game. Ah, so close! That was ridiculously close. I got the 5 in very early, so there was plenty of time for the 6th one. Ah! They're good though. Cannot complain. That is disappointing though. I haven't messed that one up in a while. I felt like I had a good setup, just didn't get the down input early enough. Just weird. Whoops. Didn't go for the super jump. What? How do those ancient strats keep creeping in? All good. We were behind after all. Right. Sergio doesn't know Japanese. That's tragic, but not really relevant right now, I feel. Ooh. Oh, because of this? Ah. Yeah. It's just the Japanese version of the game. Oh, because of Ayaka in chat. Do you not like the slide in Macro 1? I used to not like it, but now it's like 0.2 seconds on average, I think. It's a good strat. Sometimes it fails. It goes again. Sergio, you are being weird. Please start being less weird. Man. This is one of those situations where I wish I had Dearbot over on YouTube. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I mean, I could have him through my account, technically. But that really wouldn't be the same. Seem to struggle. Snooker's continuing. Ooh, number 2 today. Have to add them. Another one. Oh, of course. Sorry. Now? It's okay now? No? Still not? Now? Can't win against my own bot. Now. Are you serious? Okay, 30 seconds is too much. Now. Let's go. "30 seconds is too much." Make it like 10. The thing is, I've just made it as a global cooldown for all kinds of counters as well as commands. Don't know why I thought 30 was a good idea. Seems a bit much. No! Why? I was on such a good pace with the super jumps. The corner boosts early on. The mushroom grab is a problem today. Could never be a big problem. I think I'm actually missing out on the snooker game. Seems like quite the nail-biter. The kind of match that I like watching. Laggy. Too fast. In the hole. Ruggle stream. Almost wasted a frame there. I can't do it at all today. Like, not just can't do it right, I just can't do it. Hey, Arthur can't talk. Hey, Ildizok. actually don't even know how I'm feeling. I feel not different than yesterday. I might be a little bit distracted. Because I am watching something on the side. Or watching is too generous. I'm glancing onto my second screen every now and then. Watching the Snooker World Championship final session. Some things work perfectly today, which surprises me in the way that I would feel the others should work as well. Yo, I actually saved time there. That was basically perfect. Don't think I can do that much faster. Perfect waiting. Let's go. Yesterday I was feeling very well. I think I lost time there. Maybe the last split was just early. Because it is unlikely that I save time on my tree left. Yeah, ideally they do. If things go right. I had one PB pace run into the castle. I think 1.8 seconds ahead, and then I died. It was tragic. And on the... I think it was the very next run, or the run after, I got a 26:20, which is my fastest run since coming back. So in terms of attempts, yesterday was the day so far. Is it early? Nah, should be fine. It's more than fine. Oh, completely misjudged that. Okay, the last Tatanga fight was very promising. Let's see if I can get just one more shot in. It felt like yesterday the PB really wanted to get gotten, and I was the problem. Take a big gulp. Let's keep going. I shot way too early again. I don't know why I keep doing that again. I thought I had gotten rid of that weird habit. It's just no reason. And even among the early ones, that one was early. It was like B12. Apparently I cannot do that today. Not too tragic on that attempt, at least. Yeah, those two things, both the Tatanka fight and the Macro 1 slide, are two things that I had completely figured out yesterday. Didn't even have to think about them. And today they are back to being problems. It happens. Excuse me? Pretty sure my timing was correct. Can't take two mistakes in one split. That's a bit much. Yes. Mostly when asking a specific question. I'm pretty sure I can easily do a complete run with my eyes closed. Like not a real one, not a blindfolded run, but go through the game without missing any relevant thing. It has been 10 years, after all, since I started running this. Why? Why is that a thing today? What the hell? Every single time now. Stop it. It must have been the 5th time of exactly that happening today. It's ridiculous. Fella. I'm just... It's a single frame that I'm off, but being off by that very frame every time is... Oh, I have a nice little spider on my wall. Wolf spider. From what it looks like from here without my glasses on. I like those. I used to keep them as pets in my terrarium. I mean, better fail it late than early. It's alright. Topical evening for sure. The spider saw that I had my windows open, and it was expecting insects. I don't think the insects will come today. Mm-hmm. Or the PB was in yesterday and I let it out. Who knows? Went away. Oh, it's over there. Let me check before I completely lose sight of it. I want to see what it actually is. It is not a wolf spider. That much I can say. Could be a young sack spider. I don't know if they're called that in English. Anyway, it's a typical indoor spider. Wolf spider would not have been typical indoor spider. They're usually a little bit more nocturnal than right now. I know these ones just from seeing them every now and then. I always forgot what exact family they are. Hello, Nontent. Guess I have to thank your recommendations. This is a speedrun stream, mostly featuring this game. I saw that the other day, like 3 or 4 days ago, I was mentioned in some short about the Super Mario Land 1 screen wrap glitch. Oops, because I made a tutorial about that. So they credited me. Maybe that helps with the algorithm. No idea. But yeah, my main stream is over on twitch.tv/o_deer. But if YouTube fits better, then just stay on YouTube. There, for convenience. But yeah, until I get the world record in this category, there will probably be nothing else in terms of content. Whoops. Then just more of this. Every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I say every, but not this Wednesday actually. Some spontaneous plan came up. It's also kind of relaxing to run, I gotta say. It has its ups and downsides. Because sometimes I just feel like when I'm low energy on a specific day, I will still keep doing my runs without really any chance of getting anywhere. So I'm never sure if I'm wasting my time on those days, or if it's a good thing because I stay warmed up for the next day when I feel better. It's impossible to say. It's a hindsight thing. But that's usually the kind of stream where I just start rambling about food, movies, something like that. And those are also very fun for me. Just random topics. I tend to have strong opinions, so it's usually fun for the audience as well. Because not all of my opinions are actually valid. But for the sake of fun for the stream, I will sell them as valid. And then there are always streams that are just saved by Dearbot being silly. Tomorrow I plan to initiate phase 3 of Dearbot. I'm gonna write the main scaffold, like the code scaffolding, the bare bones for the next iteration of Dearbot, the one that will have AI integrated eventually. Yes, that one. But yeah, I'm gonna write the framework. I'm gonna put what I have of Dearbot, like all of the like responsive aspects, I wanna say. Like not the what's the good word? Not the spontaneous parts. The spontaneous parts will obviously be AI. That just makes sense. But the responsive aspects like commands and those kinds of things, those ones I can already integrate. And just generally make a proper framework for once that is not one big while loop, but properly use concurrence. That's gonna be the big update. And then I can also already implement the voice control, so I don't have to type in commands myself. It might sometimes feel or seem like he's already partially sentient, which is exactly as intended. Big mistake. I am dreading the part where I'm trying to recreate his personality in the AI model. That's gonna take a lot of trial and error. So there will probably be a time when Dearbot is gonna be a little bit weird for weeks on end. But who knows, maybe it works perfectly on the first try. Dearbot is not too excited, I see. Rather boring to him. Ah, too early again. That was a lot of lag. Tremaine, thank you. Ah, I'm surprised that didn't lose more. Now that I have the timing down, I should try going for like just fast, no waiting at all. And see what the actual maximum with that is. Because that one is easier to do consistently. Whoops. Well, this is awful. That is a full second. Let's keep going. Oh, meanwhile, the snooker match might be coming to an end here. It's a hard table, though. Not guaranteed. Are you serious? On a run that is already bad. It's another full second. If not a little more. Because of how this level is. And... Yep. That's snooker match right now, though. That's an easy to answer question. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I watched with a friend 2 weeks ago. I'm watching through the entire Marvel MCU with her. It's been a journey. Some movies that I really disliked, but the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies that I've seen so far, 1 and 2, I liked very much. First time, yeah, for most of them. I have not seen anything... Like, okay, it's hard to say because we're going, like, in-world chronologically. Hey, Dario. So we watched... Oh, what was the exact order? I think... Unless I'm forgetting something... This was... Guardians of the Galaxy was number 11? Number 10 or 11 in the list. After which we watched Iron Man 3. And that's where we stand right now. So the foundation for what I suppose is going to be the main plot has been laid. They are not the greatest movies, but I still appreciate them just for Robert Downey Jr.'s acting. In terms of cineastic masterpieces, they are not up there, for sure. Ah, come on. If he says that you are that, then you might be that. Oh, things are happening on the snooker table. No decision yet. It's gonna be another frame. So one player, Kyron Wilson, is 1 frame away from the win. And Jack Jones, I think he was a qualifier in the tournament. So he's not even in the top 16 of the world. Has been catching up. Has just won another frame. 17-14 now, if I saw that right. First to 18 wins. Wait, is it 18? Yes. One frame. Frame perfect. Yeah. Frames are a little different in a snooker context. Yeah, calling the intro level, the Mushroom House Super Jump Yump has also fallen out of favor in this community, I guess. It was never mainstream. I think I just needed a title for my split, and then for a while we actually started calling it the Yump. But I don't really do it anymore. It's still there in my splits. These are still my 10-year-old splits in terms of titles. Hey, Runner Watcher. Exactly. Also, super jumps. The term also exists so many different times and ways. Can mean completely different things. Corner boosts also exist in other games. Sometimes the same concept, sometimes a completely different one. That seemed like a good wait. Was it too long, though? No? Yes? Maybe? Who knows? Yeah, when I type something, it's usually just an ump. Hey, squirrel. No! But I just refuse to get a new keyboard, so my J key will keep troubling me. I'm gonna keep referring to umps. I think this keyboard is not produced anymore. It's not being produced anymore. Hard to read. Y B L 4. Did I type that right? That's my keyboard. Very old. Way older than my Twitch account, I believe. I think I've had this since like 2004, 2005. If not earlier. I just like the general feel so much that I simply refuse to ever switch it out. And it's not even easily opened and cleaned. That's the biggest problem. If it was easier to clean, then I probably wouldn't be having the certain key problems. Some keys are just not reacting anymore. Because I'm pretty sure it's just dirt that has gotten under the key, like in between the membrane and the contact pads. And yeah, it's a simple membrane keyboard. Nothing fancy. Cheapest of the cheap back then. But so trusty. Except for the J key. And it's not even that I'm sticking to old components or anything. I've exchanged every other PC piece like 5 times. More than 5 times already. Over the years. But the keyboard has always stayed the same. Ah. Wait, what? Whose nose? Stupid mushroom grab today. Hey Dave, thank you. Been going a little rough today so far. Flawless for that strat today, though. Nice to not have to worry about that one, at least. Why did I go so fast? Okay, this is fast, but slow. No, okay, that's my data then. If I do go fast, I don't lose too much time either. But I also cannot save time. I want to keep going for the delay strat. Ah. It's still slow, like this is probably the maximum of the go as fast as possible strat without getting the like very... It's not super... You can set it up, but for me it's lucky the slide off the platform without losing speed. Without that, this is the fastest I can go with the go fast strat. Sorry, I'm being cryptic. I know what I'm talking about. It's the important part here. Almost out of water. Now we should be able to see Tatanga again, at least. Plenty of dead birds. Again. This doesn't bode well if I keep repeating the very same mistakes. Might be a frame early. Wasn't. Didn't wanna jump on him. Wanted to go through. That's the full second again, yep. Even more. And it is so unnecessary. Just with moon physics, you slide down so slowly, and the correction of the mistake is also always gonna be slow, just because of the slow movement speed. Making mistakes on the moon just sucks. What's that in my eye? Spider? No, no spider in my eye. Probably, yes. Oh, snooker match is developing. There's an eyelash somewhere. I can feel it, but I can't grasp it. Hello, C7. Thank you. So far, it's not been about luck. I've just been performing poorly. No, I simply cannot seem to do it today. It's another reset. I think I went on 86, which should be fine. Ah. But hey, one bad Tatanga, then a good one, right? Is that... Where's the stupid eyelash? It's bothering me. Nope, it's not there. Not graspable. Maybe it fell. Until I feel it again. Baba squirrel. Also, again, I'm a tiny bit distracted because I'm watching a snooker final on the side. Oh, decision delayed. But there's only one snooker final a year, so I didn't want to miss it entirely, even though I can't really appreciate it right now. But I also didn't want to miss the stream, because I will not be streaming tomorrow. Because Tuesdays are my days off, and I will also not be streaming on Wednesday this time, because a friend invited me for a gaming evening. I cannot say no to that. Snooker, yes. Snooker World Championship happening today. And I have enjoyed watching snooker since 1991, I believe. Someone would have to check out when Eurosport became available in East Germany. It was on my grandpa's TV. My grandparents had already died at that point, but I grew up in my grandparents' house, basically. And my parents had the second story for our family. So when after my grandparents had died, the bottom apartment thingy of the house. It was a super old house. It's even weird to call it an apartment. The bottom living situation was empty, but everything was still furnitured, so the TV was still in there. And so me and my brother, like 5 and 3 years at the time, maybe 6 and 4, we would always just sneak into the old grandparents' living room and watch things on a big TV, because my parents only had a tiny TV, like maybe 15 inches in diameter, and my grandparents' TV was just this big, chunky CRT. And it was during those days, so it must have been 91-ish, when after the Iron Curtain had fallen, after we slowly started getting like Western media, and Eurosport was one of the first things that stood out to me. And I think it was the first time I watched Eurosport, or like this new kind of media, that it was snooker right away. I have a kind of special relationship with it. Yeah, snooker, old colonial English/Indian version of pool. It used to be considered the fancy version of pool. Whoopsie. That doesn't count as a pooper jump. That was just me reading chat. It's funny, some players from back then, from the early 90s, are still around this day, to this day. Today, or to this day. I mean, I can give you a rundown. It's 15 red balls, which each count for 1 point, and 6 colored balls. When a red ball goes down, it stays down. When a colored ball goes down, it comes back up. And you have to put the balls alternatingly, starting with red color, and so forth. I was a little bit too small to truly understand what was happening. I had understood that I had this one uncle who had fled East Germany and would occasionally come visit for birthdays and things like that. And he also had the greatest presents that were just not available to us otherwise. Like RC cars, for example. Specific RC cars would not have been, like, both in my parents' budget as well as not even available in East Germany. So when that uncle came over, there was always something special. So I had an understanding that there was something that we were lacking that other people had, and that it was connected to West and East. But that's as far as it went with my, like, 5-6-year-old understanding. And then one day, my parents were like, yeah, we're going on a trip. We're going to West Germany. So something must have happened. I think it was the day of the announcement by the East German Ministry of, like, State Minister. I don't know what exactly his title was. Titles were also weird in East Germany. So that's when I understood something big had just happened. Oops. So we went on this... It was pretty much a shopping trip, pretty much. We went to a city called Oberhof, which I believe was not too far behind the border, like the previous border. And my parents just wanted to go into one of those, like, it wasn't a mall yet. It was, what's the English word of the big building with just one big shop in there? Like in German, it's called a Kaufhaus. We can ask Dearbot. You were not allowed to leave East Germany. You would have been shot. That's. I'm not joking. Even you were not allowed. It was not a thing. They really wanted to keep you in because obviously everybody knew things over there are better. Department store. It's really just department store. Yeah. Basically, proper department stores didn't really exist in East Germany. And it was just this big, like, okay, this is like the commercial. Now, what's the word? This is capitalism, basically. We wanted capitalism because that was the enemy all of the time. Capitalism is bad, and suddenly it was available to us, and you could buy all of those things. So yeah, we went. I think we even stayed overnight. It was like a weekend trip to West Germany, to Oberhof. Commerce. Oops. So that is my first real like memory where I understood, okay, this is different now. Something had been missing. Again, this is the impression of a 6-year-old. We stayed in a hotel room. This is funny. The things that I remember most have nothing to do with the purpose of the trip. I remember going on a nice long walk in a forest and eating blueberries on the roadside, or the wayside on the road. Because that was also something I had never experienced. There just weren't any wild edible blueberries around where I lived. Had nothing to do with East or West Germany. It was just that's how it was. So that's one thing I remember. And it was my first, like, the first time staying outside or like away from home in a hotel room. And I found this toy car or 2 toy cars under the hotel bed. So that was amazing for a little kid. Those are my 2 main memories from that trip. Neither of which have anything to do with West Germany. That was my impression, nonetheless. And only in hindsight I can just put everything in perspective. At the time I had no real idea what was going on. Ah. Yeah, they were made of metal. Small, like matchbox size. Like old matchbox were also metal. But yeah, it was a trip, pretty much. A trip and a trip. And it's fun, like going back to the memories and nowadays understanding what happened. Nope. Snooker final has ended. My distraction has gone away. Let me actually close the thing so I stop looking over. Okay. I can fully focus now. The one guy won, who was already ahead. Yeah, the scenes, like my parents, like we were not among the people who immediately went to Berlin to celebrate right then and there, because that was the first place where you could cross the border. Everywhere else, so the wall was only in Berlin. Yeah, there were wall-like structures, but more like fences across the, like all of the border, but it was more like a regular, like country border in a way, with little checkpoints here and there. But the big wall existed in Berlin because the actual city was divided. And you couldn't maintain separation otherwise without a physical wall. So that one came down first in a way, or it was so special that was suddenly you could go through in a way that a lot of people just went there, like drove there for hours just to be there when it was happening. But yeah, my parents waited a little bit and then planned that trip. I don't know exactly the time frame, how long it took. I mean, it's like indoctrination is a thing, right? State-directed brainwashing. I guess you can sing a song about that in the US over there. It was just a different kind of brainwashing back in East Germany. There was a lot of peer pressure, a lot of like fake positivity. It's like I can liken it to the like military situation in the US. How the US military is so glorified by pretty much everyone, like left and right. But to a normal, like to a European, I want to say, that already is very weird. And the same kind of brainwashing was going on in East Germany, where this like neglect of certain aspects of life, like the complete neglect of wealth. Wealth is bad. This and that is bad. It's good to be to all work as a collective for the collective good. Everybody could see the downsides of that, but in school, in media, everywhere, you were blasted with that positivity about those obviously not great things. And I think in that regard, it's very similar to like the military glorification in the US right now, or like for years, not just right now. It's just those little topics that you can put in a box and look at them separately are just so weird. Everything was, yeah. We had 2 TV programs. Their names were the names, like the abbreviation of the actual country. The country was abbreviated DDR in German, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, German Democratic Republic, GDR in English. And the TV programs were called DDR1 and DDR2. And that is technically all you had. I think you also had one radio channel, one big one. And everything else was more localized, but you had the big TV, the big state media, basically. And things like corporations didn't exist. That's the crazy part. You didn't have any corporations. Every manufacturer, every shop, every store, everything was technically state-owned. At least from a certain size onwards. Because of everybody is working for the common good, right? Communism. So in that regard, it was very, very different. Yeah, Super Soccer. I loved that game. That was one of my first Super Nintendo games, actually. But yeah, it's a weird time. And it's weird to think about that certain countries are still run that way, North Korea being one of them. And it's just weird to think that it is still possible to uphold such a regime, even in our days. But of course, with China bordering it, it's always gonna have that big brother. Hey, Mo. My first gaming console. Let me get some water first, then I'm gonna talk about my first gaming console. See. So the first gaming anything that I held in my hand was a handheld, which I believe could have already been by Tiger Electronic. Is it Electronic or Electronics? I never know. And it was just a very basic little LCD screen. I had one, my brother had one. It was triangle shaped, about this big, fit nicely into children's hands. And it was one of those games where you just had like basically like a Space Invaders or Arkanoid. No, not really Arkanoid. But I had the basketball themed one, and basketballs would just drop from the top of the screen and you had to maneuver. You had two buttons on the thing for moving left and right. And you had to catch like fruit catching, catch the whatever. It was way smaller, yeah. So that must have been in 88 or 89 that I had that, because it must have been 89, right after the wall came down. Couldn't have been earlier. And my brother had the same kind of concept with a soccer game. You were the goalie and had to go left and right, and soccer balls would come, or even the soccer players shooting the balls would come towards you, and you had to defend them all. Classic arcade games. It was just getting faster and faster, and in the end you would get overwhelmed. After that, it still wasn't Game Boy time yet. After that, so this must have been in 1990, I got a proper Tiger Electronic handheld, the off-road one. I think it's just called off-road. And that one I loved. It was also just a very basic LCD screen, like those consoles or handhelds were. And you had an off-road car, a little pickup truck, and you would go down the road and had to avoid obstacles and collect fuel tanks, that kind of game. And I played that religiously in a way. I really was hooked on it, and I wanted to wanted to beat my personal bests all the time. I have no idea how good I ever got, because I had a very basic childlike understanding of the game. I wasn't looking for any exploits or things, right? So if I didn't understand a certain concept, then that was just the limit of my experience there. Yeah, PCs had not been a thing for me. When did I see my first PC? It was at some friends of my parents had a PC, and I saw I did see Duck Hunt on PC on MS-DOS, and I also saw Gorillas. If anyone remembers Gorillas, that was my favorite PC game when I first saw a PC. Nice MS-DOS game. I didn't even know of the existence of Tiger Electronic back then. I just had this. This was just the thing. This existed. I had no concept that there were more like that, different games or anything. It was just, no, this is the off-road game. That's what I want to play. And it wasn't. So then came the time when I started watching my friend play on his Game Boy. And that must have been a little less than a year. Ski Free. See, I don't know that one. But yeah, I was watching my friend play his Game Boy for about a year, I want to say. Like, memories are very compressed from that time. And then I was supposed to get my own Game Boy on Christmas '91. But I had an accident. I think the accident was... which one was it? No, I know which one it was. One of my classmates had tackled me while going, like, the lesson had just ended, class was just over, we were going outside for the big, like, noon lunch break. And I was walking with my friends, and this other classmate came running from behind and just didn't necessarily tackle me, but he swept away my legs while also pulling me back. So I hit the ground really hard with the back of my head. And I had a concussion, like a serious concussion. I basically went blind after half an hour. Hey, Sarah. So I couldn't see anymore. My eyes were open. I could not see. I was freaking out. The teachers didn't really know what to do with me. They were not sure. They called the ambulance. And while I was waiting, I was just getting really, like, panicky as panicky as you can get as a child. Like, everything was just super confusing. But I was feeling cold. They had put me down on a stretcher to like keep me calm and under control. And I also couldn't move anymore. My conscience was still there. My mind was awake, and I could feel certain things I couldn't see. I couldn't move, but I was feeling cold, so I kept telling them, my feet are cold. Can you please put my shoes on? Because they had taken the shoes off when they put me on the stretcher. And they just kept repeating, yeah, your shoes are right there. Just put them on. But I could not move, so it was... the feeling was very, very terrifying, yes. So... next thing, so I lost consciousness at that point and woke up in the ambulance while they were putting an IV in my arm. Immediately passed out again, and then I woke up in the hospital. Immediately threw up. That's what I remember. I didn't even have lunch. I was on the way to the lunch break, so I don't even know what I threw up. But I threw up next to the bed. Fell asleep again, woke up again to the sound of the nurse complaining about me having thrown up next to the bed. And then fell asleep again. Next thing I remember, my mom came into the room. My mom was a nurse at a children's hospital, and I was in a different hospital. They had brought me to a different hospital. And the care was not that great, right? You can already tell by the nurse complaining, that little tidbit of the story. And next thing was that my mom immediately went to the station, main doctor, whatever you would call them, head doctor, and asked them to transfer me to her hospital. So I could just be, first of all, closer to home, and secondly, closer to her, so she could take care of me. This was all in '91, yeah. Oh yes, for sure. Like those were all still the old steel needles. No, they were being reused. I want to say. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. But the old steel needle, maybe they were not reusable. But probably from old East German habit, they were probably still being reused. Let's be honest here. So, end of that part with my mom asking me for me to get transferred was that nope, they didn't want to do it. They wanted to keep me there. So they, I think, had an X-ray, like a skull X-ray or something, for them to make sure that there was no fracture. And I think I had to stay there for a week or so. And during that week, I got well wishes cards from my school. And my mom told me that they had a special intervention, like everybody had to assemble. And they made it very clear that behavior like that should never be accepted, should never be okay. So that kid got a talking to, for sure, with everybody present. Oh, I could see in the ambulance, I could see that they were putting the IV into my arm. So basically I could see again after losing consciousness for the first time. Also, like, I might not even have been truly blinded. I might have just thought that my eyes were open, but they weren't. It's not... Can't tell anymore. Like, I don't know. Everything was not normal in my head. So after that week, I did get transferred. I couldn't go home straight away. And then I got transferred to my mom's hospital. And I think it was October or November, so not yet Christmas, but my parents had already bought the Game Boy as a Christmas present, and since I didn't have anything to do in the hospital room, I got my Game Boy a month early. That's how that story started, right? That's why I'm telling you about my hospital experiences. And that was my own proper, like, big name console / handheld. And the only game I played first was Super Mario Land 1. And it was frustrating. I spent most of my time reading the manual. I remember that part. And playing the game was just rough. Like, little child hands, and child brain was only used to the off-road game. The concept of a jump and run was completely foreign to me. So I don't think I got very far at first, but I'm pretty sure I still beat the game while still in the hospital. So steep learning curve, but I managed. And the other games that my Game Boy bundle came with were Princess Blobette, Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge, and Tetris. I played quite a bit of Blobette, because it was just fun to explore. And I remember it being more straightforward to my child brain than Super Mario Land 1, for example. Yeah, SML2 it didn't even exist back then, of course. I first got to play that on Lars's... I think it was my own Game Boy, but Lars was the one... Ooh, that was a bad mistake. My classmate Lars had SML2. And I got to play it in daycare. Like, after school, I stayed in their daycare at the school. And that's where we could exchange cartridges. Ah. I'm gonna get to the Tetris part next, because that was also fun. So the Tiger Electronic off-road game that I talked about, I was only playing that by myself, like nobody else was using it, so I was only going up against my own personal bests. Tetris was the first time that I played any video game competitively, because my mom also really enjoyed playing Tetris. So we were going for each other's PBs early on, and she had the better of it for the most time. I think she, like the big barrier back then was 200,000 points for us, I believe. And she was the one who broke it first. And I always had this goal of also beating the 200,000 points, and I just could not do it for the longest time. And it took until we got the Super Nintendo, I believe. Which wasn't too long after. I think we got the Super Nintendo a year later, in 92. Nah, it must have been 93. I think it was 93. I'm not too sure about the timeline there. But we... how was that? No, we didn't get the Super Game Boy immediately. I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details here. So we got the Super Nintendo first. I think it only came with Super Mario World, Super Soccer, and I think that was it. Was there a third game? I think those were the two first games that I had. Right away with the Super Nintendo. 2-game bundle. Sounds a bit weird, but I think that's how it was. I did never, yeah. Also, hey Maxwell, sorry I missed you. I am playing on a Super Game Boy 2, yeah. This one, but not this one. Always have it next to me to show it off. But yeah, I think shortly after we got the Super Nintendo, we also already got the Super Game Boy. When was the Super Game Boy released? Can anybody check that? Because we must have gotten it pretty early. I mean, Jonah's licensing around Tetris was crazy during those days, so they probably just took what they could really quick, printed it, and were good with it. Because the entire rights situation with Tetris was crazy back then. There was no time for optimization or anything. 94 was the Super Game Boy. Huh. Maybe we got the Super Nintendo later then, because maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But in my memory, there was not a long time where we had the Super Nintendo, but not the Super Game Boy. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. But it took until I played Tetris on the Super Game Boy for me to actually beat my mom's PB, or like beat 200,000 points for the first time. I think I played more on the Super Game Boy than actual Super Nintendo games for quite a while. I remember making use of the Super Game Boy a lot. Oh, I should have known the release date of the Super Game Boy, because it came bundled, or well, it didn't come bundled, but the first Super Game Boy specific game was Donkey Kong 94. It's in the name, kind of. Hey, Smart Ball. I think for me it was mostly because I already had a certain amount of Game Boy games, and Super Nintendo games were still super expensive back then. I think the cheapest Super Nintendo games you could get were like 70 Deutsche Mark back then, old German currency, compared to like 30 for a Game Boy game. And the big titles were 130 Deutsche Mark. The big RPGs. Super Metroid was 100, I believe. So we didn't have a lot of those, but I already had a little collection of Game Boy games, so it was quite obvious that if I wanted to have some change up every now and then, I would default to the Game Boy games. I mean, I did have that one friend that I watched play Game Boy a lot. I think it was his parents who didn't allow him to give away his games. There was something about it, but we never really ended up trading, even for short amounts of time. Like only a lot later, when he had also moved on to the Super Nintendo. Only then, I think, I borrowed Solar Striker once or twice. I think R-Type was his game. No, R-Type was my game. Yeah, there was not a lot of trading going on. It's true. Super Metroid ROM size is 3072 kilobytes, if I remember correctly. It's one of the big ones. Simply because at the time I think the Super Metroid map was the biggest map in any video game? Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, that part too, I guess, yeah. It did have the weird soundbite. Ah, my timing. But yeah, as I alluded to earlier, it wasn't really like borrowing for me, but instead just playing the games at the daycare. So every kid would just bring their own Game Boy and their own games, and then you would just do the switcheroo then and there, and at the end of the day everybody would go home with their own games again. The jelly strat, meaning the hop on the dude? Yes. If I do it right, it's 100%. Ha. Funny statistic, if I do it right. I have good cues now. I did it wrong in this run, because I didn't... I did the flutter. Like, I kept mashing for the fluttering. I'm not supposed to do that. Yeah, Super Nintendo games, I mean, it was a different friend who had the Super Nintendo first. Like, we were 3 friends, basically. With the one friend, I I had the Game Boy history. With the other one, we all assembled at his place to play multiplayer Super Nintendo games, like Secret of Mana. Also, like the big summer break, we played through Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Basically everybody, like all at his place, but everybody separately, and the other ones were watching. Good times. When did I first play Pokemon? 2010-ish? Was very late. I played it on a PC emulator. Didn't even play it on any Game Boy. I've said it many times before. That's not gonna be a surprise, but I never liked the Pokemon franchise. So I didn't really feel like I was missing out by not having played the games. My best friend nowadays used to have an NES. But back when that was relevant, he was not my friend yet. So I could not benefit from that at all. Funny thing is though, I have his NES now. It's in my cupboard. That very old. Like, probably bought in 1990 NES. It's in my cupboard. I can take it out and show you a European PAL NES. Controllers are switched. Yeah, also, he gave me his game collection. I know that I have Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I don't know what other games I have. Because was never my console. I played some games on stream once. It was a little bit tricky because I had to set it up with a PAL CRT, which I usually don't keep in my apartment. So it's inconvenient to use, but I have it now. I'm the retro game guy in our friend circle now, so it was just fitting. We will check. I have the games, or I can see the box right there. When this run goes down, I'm gonna do a little nostalgia trip, which is not nostalgia for me, but probably for you. I think I took over his console in like 2016 or so. Just was like, hey, I've been playing retro games on stream for a while now. Are you even using your old NES? Because I knew he had it, and was just taking up space in his apartment. Can't do it today. But at least this one is not a reset. The NES has to wait in the cupboard. Yeah, I'm gonna keep keeping it safe. Wait, what super? What exactly do you mean, Jonas? Oh, it's SNES games. Sorry. Super Mario World. Super Soccer. I think Link to the Past was kind of close. Primal Rage I had at some point. Don't know how early I got that. Got clipped into the wall and lost all of my momentum. Okay, we're going to the cupboard. Actually, also have to take a little bathroom break. I will be right back. And think about what other games I had. Story time. All right, I have acquired everything, close to everything that I could find. So here is the old big boy, the old NES of my friend. No game in there currently. Quite yellow, you can't tell. That has seen some sunlight during its life. Even says European version. I don't know if you can read that. Very big one. So these are the games that he still had. I don't know if this were all of his games or if he gave away some. I knew he was in the habit of selling stuff at some point, so this might not be the complete collection that he ever owned. I have no nostalgia for these. I never played them back then. So we have California games. That's one of the reflection. One of the ones. Some surfer girl and dude on the front. Not sure if I tried this one on games, on stream. Also, all nice in the like original little black sleeves. Like this one, more original than any others with Nintendo on it. Maybe the other one wasn't original. Didn't have Nintendo on it. Red Racer. I know that game. I did play it at some point, but I also don't have much recollection of it. Again, zero nostalgia for me. Ooh. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. We'll keep that one for last that I just touched. Gradius. That is one. That is like there are some good games here. Also, all German, obviously. Don't know if you can read the German. Achtung! Nicht extremen Temperaturen aussetzen, nicht Feuchtigkeit aussetzen, nicht reinigen mit Benzin, Verdünner, Alkohol oder ähnlichen Flüssigkeiten. Now you know. Okay, obviously this one. It's the one game only cartridge. No combo thingy here. Same warning on the back. Achtung, Achtung. And finally, this one is sleeveless because I think he gave me the console with one game inside. I think SMB1 doesn't have an original sleeve. This game is so cryptic, I could not get out of the second or third level when I tried playing this on stream. Terminator 2 and Judgment Day. It's him. Super cryptic. I love the Game Boy game. That's one of my old Game Boy games that I had back then. I had T2 Judgment Day somewhat early on. Okay. Ready for the next part? Oh, I even forgot something. Oh, there's more. There is more. This is my own Super Nintendo, the one we were talking about. This is the one I got in 93-ish, I suppose. So we have figured out now. It is still the original boy. Funny thing, so you had the, what is it called, RC connector? RF, that's what it's called. RF connector. And you had to switch to a certain TV channel to actually play your console. Hey, Remy. Nah, there's sound. We're gonna get there, Jonas. Yeah, you had to get one of those weird adapters where you could switch from one channel to the other. And But still, like after switching, you still had to go to a certain TV channel. And for me, that was Eurosport again. So that closes the Eurosport cycle, the snooker Eurosport cycle. It was channel 3 on my parents' TV. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about the console itself. Does it have a date? 1992 is when it was manufactured. And then to Jonas's question, I do not know if the complete answer is in this box here. These are Super Nintendo games and some Super Famicom games. So I didn't have many in the first place. This might still not be all. These are definitely not all because at least one of them, that first Game Boy friend, right, from 1991, the one who had the Game Boy very first, eventually did borrow it from me and never gave it back. It's Super Metroid. I never got my Super Metroid PAL version back. Because we just lost touch. Like he didn't. There's no malice in this or anything. We just lost contact, and now I don't even know how to contact him anymore. And I'm not like, hey, do you remember like 35 years ago when you borrowed that game? Nah, probably doesn't even have it anymore. It's not a rare game anyway, so it would only be for the nostalgic factor that I could say, like with the Super Nintendo, it feels nice to say. I gotta admit that it feels nice. That this is the one. This is the one I actually used to play on. This is the one that I beat my mom in Tetris, in Minecraft. No, but yeah, I wanted to like make the transition here. I never had a lot of Super Nintendo games because they were so expensive, and my parents weren't rich or anything, and those were always just the big gifts for Christmas or birthday. In my case, both. Since my birthday is on December 25th, German Christmas is celebrated on December 24th. For me, that always meant I get one big present for both occasions. Once a year. So that was the Super Nintendo games because they were so expensive. I basically chose one game per year, and then my parents bought it pretty much immediately, but I couldn't play it yet. Sometimes they already, because some of them were the big RPGs like Secret of Evermore, Lufia 2, I mean. They came with the big strategy guides. So they gave me the strategy guide, but not the game yet. But I was happy with that. It's okay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is my original. This was one of my earlier games, F-Zero. This is the PAL F-Zero. This is my old one. It's also made in 92. Maybe 92 was actually the year when I got the console. It might have been 93. Hard to tell. That was I was always just like a dictionary and encyclopedia kid, even, or guy as a kid. I still love reading encyclopedias and dictionaries, just like a book. I enjoy that. And that was a thing back then already. One day in second grade of elementary school, I found a book outside of the classroom. It was this very book. I still have it. It's the German dictionary, German grammatics, German orthography. Oh, look at the color of the pages. It's brown. I love it. Duden, exactly. Konrad Duden is one of the first scholars who put together a comprehensive version of a German dictionary, and ever since then, it's a company nowadays with his name. But ever since then, the German dictionary is just referred to as der Duden, the Duden. But yeah, I read this cover to cover as a 7-year-old. Call me weird or something. That is me pretty much. That describes me to some extent. Yes, dear bot bonus book. So I was completely happy with just receiving the strategy guides first, way ahead of being able to play the games. That was my little story tie-in there. What are other old games? Yeah. See, I don't even have many of my... I don't even have Super Soccer anymore. Where's Super Soccer? Did I put it somewhere else? I thought I still had Super Soccer. I know that I have the packaging back there. But yeah, one of the expensive games for Christmas birthday was this one, Lufia 2. It has a fan base nowadays, but I feel like back in the day it was a sleeper. It wasn't as big a franchise as the Secret of Mana or Second and Setsu series or Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was way later, it was 96 or so, but it didn't have a big name. So to me, this was just this nice little find, and to this day, this is my favorite Super Nintendo RPG. It just has everything. It has a roguelike built into the game, which is exempt from the main story. And it's I spent so many hours. I think this is the first game that I've spent hundreds, literal hundreds of hours in. Okay, here's... I'm gonna skip some, because some I got way later when buying Japanese consoles. All right, C7. I think I'm mostly done. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more run after the little game expo. But yeah, Lufia 2 was one of those expensive ones. I think Lufia 2 was only 100 euros. It might have been in the 130 range as well. This one, Secret of Evermore, was definitely 130, not euros, D-Mark, Deutsche Mark. This one also came with a strategy guide. It's they used the same engine, I believe, as Secret of Mana. I didn't have Secret of Mana myself, but I loved the game. And I wanted a game similar to Secret of Mana, so this was the next one coming out. So I mentioned those 3 friends or two other, I was one of the 3 friends who we used to organize which games to get because they were so expensive, and we were all kinds of in similar situations. So we coordinated which games we would get. So I got Secret of Evermore. The other friend had Secret of Mana. The other friend also had Donkey Kong Country. I'm trying to think what the third friend, the Game Boy friend who has my Super Metroid copy, I'm trying to remember what he had exclusively. Can't think of any Super Nintendo exclusive one that he had. Yeah, not waste time, waste money. That was the thing. There were only so many birthdays while still being a child, right? I mean, in that regard, time works out. But yeah, I really wanted to get this one, and this one was a real stinker. Primal Rage. I saw it in video game magazines. And I was super into dinosaurs and stuff, and I just thought Primal Rage was the coolest thing ever. And then I played it, and it just sucked. It's not a good game. Okay, these ones are all Japanese. So none of the following ones. The ones I showed were all my childhood games. Super Mario World is missing. Yoshi's Island is missing. Yoshi's Island was my brother's game. Like that's also like even within the family we coordinated who had which game. So some of these might still be at my brother's place. We also had Super Mario Kart, Super Soccer I mentioned. Mm. And then I think it already stops pretty quickly. Link to the Past I mentioned. I don't have here, which is surprising. I thought I should have it here. I'm also not sure if I lent that friend who has Super Metroid, if I lent him more games. I might have also lent him Link to the Past. Apart from that, I think I didn't have many more games. So it was less than a dozen, I want to say. Yeah, things that I bought after the fact or that came along with my Japanese consoles when I ordered them. One came with Super Mario Kart. This one I bought purposefully, Japanese Super Metroid. That is the one I use for speedrunning. This, I believe, is Super Mario Bros. Collection thingy. What's it called again? The one with the 4 games. SMB 1, 2, 3, and Super Mario World. All Stars, that's what it's called. Took me a while. All Stars Collection plus SMW. And this is a cryptic one that we figured out on stream at some point. I already forgot it again. It's a crude jump and run prehistoric dude game. I don't remember much of it. And that is currently all of the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom games that I own. Unless there are some in a crevice somewhere in my cupboard, but I don't think so. Okay. Nostalgia trip over. I don't remember my brother and me having a system for save states. All right. Let's see if I can get another run going. Maybe I needed the break because it wasn't going too well. Maybe the break actually helps. Oh, I'm not wearing my glove. It feels weird. Isn't it strange that I can't even play properly anymore without wearing the glove? I think it's strange. It immediately just feels wrong. Didn't fully close the cupboard. Now I have the lamp reflection in my face. Yeah, most console things, like most of my retro consoles, like the GameCube and what else is in there? A PS2. Those I all got way later, but not when they were actually out on the market. Yeah, I do have a white DS Lite the old, bigger version of the DS Lite. I think there was another revision of the Lite that made it even smaller. And my GBA I got way later, in 2018. And then, even after that, I got the Game Boy Color that you see behind me on the shelf. That one I got together with my Japanese Tetris version 1.0 version. Version. I can English. I never... Well, no, I lie. I did read an English dictionary cover to cover. The... What's it called again? The DCE. By Longman. Also back there. Yeah, it's the big yellow one there. That's the Longman DCE. Dictionary of Contemporary English. Even has pictures in it. Like a more encyclopedia-style dictionary. I think I'm not supposed to have that. That was one of those books that you were given in school while the course was running, and then at the end of the year you had to give it back. I think I didn't give that one back. I can check. It should still have some kind of... Like, if that is the case, then there should be some kind of imprint inside. Oops, that is a proper pooper jump. Let me check if I own my own book or not. Getting full on my sofa with all of the consoles here now. Can I even reach it without doing stuff over? My guess is that I do not actually own this book. No, there's nothing inside that says otherwise. Oh, no, of course. It does say otherwise. There's the stamp on the school property. I did that several times, like with geography atlases. Also stole some of those from school. Nice. See, I think so too. It shows dedication. It shows a hunger for learning things. Yeah, I would always volunteer for carrying... Like some books they didn't even want you to take home. So you would distribute the books before every single class and carry them from room to room because the school only had so many copies of the books. Whoopsie. And I always used to volunteer for like the carrying duty, carrying the books to the next room, and that's how I snuck one of them or a copy of one of many into my own pockets. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one who did that. I just wanted to have books. But I bet at least 2 of the geography atlases I have back there also have the school stamp in there. I mean, it must have been somewhat obvious that it could have only been me or my friend. Because I think we carried them together, like 2... Maybe there was another one. I feel like it was like 2 people at most who carried the books. Big bonk. I always had, like as a kid, I always had some kind of criminal energy. I have to admit. Was never too bothered stealing things. I don't know what that says about me. I never stole anything that somebody else, like an individual, would be missing. I did have morals all along. It was usually that I stole from institutions. That sums it up correctly. Like, I would never steal, or even back then would have never stolen something that was dear to somebody else. Oops, I messed it up again. Did the complete wrong approach. Very laggy. It's plus 0.4. No? What? What do I know? Why was that not slower? That felt so slow. What the hell? Like, what the hell? Why is that so? And even more so, why am I so bad at judging that? Ugh. Speaking of why am I so bad, I have to close this cupboard door. Reflection is messing with me. Dang, that was even a good pace. Real. Gonna try to go hyper-focus mode. See if that works. Good level. Do the setup right this time. That is not doing the setup right. Lucky, ever since you mentioned it, I blame you. It was going perfectly fine. I hadn't missed it a single time. No, I think I had missed it a single time, and then you asked. I had been struggling with it actually a few days ago, and the last couple of days it just worked out perfectly. I was doing the setup right. I got the right feedback from the game. If that makes sense. So I felt very good about it. Just like with this jump yesterday, and it's not there today. Disappointing split. Bought jelly jumps yesterday. I couldn't get jelly jumps the last couple of days at all. And today that's much less of a problem. Early. It's always those small things that either work or completely don't work on any given day. I don't really get what I'm doing wrong. I see what I'm doing wrong, but Doesn't feel like I'm doing that. It is such a good strat. I think those are the English words, yes. I can check in my English dictionary that I totally own. Good thinking. Ah! Timing. I am just doing that wrong today. The turnaround part is wrong. I'm repressing run. Okay, this is the one. I'm feeling it. Curse you, Aleki. Just gotta confirm what it says under tides here. I mean, it probably will not refer to the verbs. We'll just prefer to the nouns. Tensile strength, textbook, think, 3-point turn, tie, tide. They don't seem to relate to ebb and flood at all. No mention. That is weird that they wouldn't even mention the two tides. I'm reading it for the third time now. It's not there. Very interesting choice. Hey, Muffin. This is the one. I'm okay with going a little bit longer today, because I'm gonna have 2 off days. But I am still getting a little bit tired. Hey! I got that somewhat right. Fossil fighters, no. Never heard of that. That in reference to Primal Rage. Yeah. No, never heard of fossil fighters. I wasn't really into video games when I got the Nintendo DS Lite, if that makes sense. I got the DS Lite for like the Dr. Kawashima's brain training game almost exclusively, I think. Because that was just such a novelty. Hey. Not even first frame jump below. Reset. Went a little early. I guess not. I'm just gonna be wrong all the time about tree left today. It's fine by me. I'm wrong in this direction. Okay, no jump. Hey, Ben. Okay, this is gonna be the one. The one that closes out the stream. We did enjoy them too. I like the tangents. Like on a session like this, where the speedruns are just not really going anywhere, I like to fluff it up a bit. Is that a bad way to phrase it? Just put the focus on something else for a second, and maybe that even helps with concentration. Don't fall in any holes here. Done that enough today. Most holes have been avoided. It's another big hole. Might be a bit late, but late is okay. Wasn't even late. Hey. One more hole. And we're out. Now I can't start a completely different tangent. There was a possible tie into biology earlier with a little spider that appeared on my wall, but I didn't have the time or wasn't in the mood to catch it, to check out what it actually was. I have a good idea. I just always forget the family name. One of the big ones. Common house spider. Vegenaria atrica or Eratigena atrica. "10 centimeters. Now you're exaggerating." "5 centimeters would be very big already." It's probably even less than that. I usually only get the common spider friends here. I'm still waiting to see a Skytoades, a spitting spider, in this apartment. I sometimes see them at my parents' place. They are very nocturnal though, so you have to get lucky. Maybe. Yeah. It was kind of panicky, because I went way too early, so I had to shoot super fast. Alright, we have a run. Can I get past the slide, though? Slide is as far as it got today, right? I never even got to see the auto-scroller. Five Tatangas, 2 slides so far. What is slide number 5 gonna be like? Medium. Okay, we have a run. Unexpected. I had given up hope, I am gonna be honest here. I thought I would just do one more kind of mediocre run. to end the stream on a good note. Who is Dean? The Dean of the school? Are they here? Do they want their book back? Don't think you would call a principal a dean, though. I never stole from the university, I think. Oh wait, I did. I stole some lab coats. Oops, early split. Horse measuring. Also nice. Whoa, that is rude. Poor Muffin. Getting framed. Yeah, exactly. Like that one friend of mine. With Super Metroid. And I'm totally not mad at him. Mm-mm. Ah! Not like this! All of my time save. I have not done that wrong in such a long time. I was not ready. Man, oh, that's a big disappointment. It's my 1 second time loss, time save, lost. I guess it's a 1 second time loss now. Hey, Lucky Pipes. Let's go. So good. And fast swimming. Is this a 34? This might very well be a 34. Yup. Very good level. In form. Ah! That was awful. I did the dropping right, but not the turning around. This is time loss territory. Ugh. Really good level and then kinda bad level again. Yeah. Yep. Let's go witch. Bonk. Kill count is a little low. I had several good witches yesterday, so I would not be able to complain much if I got a bad witch today. Oop. Big bonk. RNG manipulation. Oh, Eleki. Why? Why? Man, did you really have to? This is ridiculous. Everybody point at Eleki there. He did this. Aha. And the map is getting into my mind again. Yeah, we have to put Eleki on trial. Diabot has the right idea. This deserves a spanking. Ah, and a bad swimming at the end. Ooh. Map plus bad exit. And slow swimming. And slow swimming. Ah, triple slow, really? That's rough. Slow swimming everywhere. Welp. The failure was down below. When I didn't get the shelter drop, then I had more lag here. And didn't get quite the right jump height. Okay. Kind of a fitting end. But it also would have been very cool if I had managed to get a PB with a left, left, left. Because that's the old meme. LLL means PB. I was hoping for that. Alright, nobody is streaming SML2 yet. Is there anybody else streaming something? Jet is doing more... Wait, what is he doing today? Donkey Kong Country 2 ROM hacks. Alright. Just making extra sure that C7 hasn't just started streaming and the thing isn't picking it up. Nope. Offline. Offline. Let's head over to Jet then. As I said earlier, tomorrow off, Wednesday off as well, so I will be back on Thursday. I hope everybody has a nice week until then. Yeah. See you around. Bye bye, everybody.